A 17-inch second display purely powered by USB-C. Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here, and I use my laptop a lot. And I'll tell you, there are times when I just don't have enough screen real estate. So enter a second screen. This is a beauty. This is the ViewSonic VX1755 17-inch portable gaming monitor, and it's a full 1920 by 1080 HD, which means it's a 1080p monitor. But especially important is that it has 144 hertz update or refresh rate, which means it can also be used as a gaming display. I'll show you in a second what it means to have a faster refresh, but basically motion looks better. It's also an IPS display. Now, a lot of people don't understand what IPS is. It stands for in-plane switching. And what it primarily gives you is a wider angle of view. So you can see here, other than the reflections of my lighting sources, that the display looks really clean, kind of regardless of what angle I put it at. And that's exactly what IPS really brings you. Now, there's also some technology for color matching, but you can see it is a bright, vivid color, and it has built-in speakers. So I'm mirroring the display on my MacBook Pro, and if I go into sound, you can see that the VX1755, you see right here, shows up as one of my outputs, right? That's cool. So let's give it a whirl. Let's see, I think if I go here, and then we can just maybe watch this. This is getting a little old, but...
Hey, Dave Taylor here. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. You know, I spend every day looking at...
What's worth noticing here is that these are the output speakers, and they're a little small. They don't sound particularly good, but they're entirely functional, and they actually get loud. I've had other devices of this nature, and the speakers are so quiet, you really can't hear anything. This is actually quite functional. So let me tell you a little bit more about it now that I have me. Let me pause where maybe I look a little less angry. So this also works with something called AMC FreeSync Premium, which is really cool. It's a VESA adaptive sync system, which means that it can synchronize refresh rate with your PC screen so that when you're gaming, there's no weird jags or image, distortion and stuff. There's no flickering. They actually synchronize automatically. Pretty cool. So again, as you can see,
how to simplify
this
your experience with technology and computers, whether you're an
See, I don't really have the rights to play anyone else's videos, but I certainly have the rights to play mine. It actually has dual 60-watt USB-C. In fact, let me give you a little tour. So on, stop here, and on this side, you have the ports. So you have two USB-C and a micro HDMI, and this is a great thing, a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. So you can plug in headphones, speakers, whatever. If you want better sound, you can do that. Now, I have it mirroring what's on my display so you can see, which works out great for demos and teaching. But you can also end up on your Mac or your PC or your Linux machine, or I'm pretty sure your Chromebook, you could set it up as a second display so that you can move content onto it and move other content onto your main display. And that is pretty cool, actually. So on this side, you have all of your control buttons. Now, one thing I didn't realize when I first got it hooked up is that you actually have to push the power button to turn it on. And you're thinking, dude, power button, that's pretty easy. But a lot of these, once it gets a video signal, it automatically turns on. So that's worth knowing. It comes with some really nice instructions in, 30 languages. So it gives you some basics, but the whole control side, as you can see in the close-up, is really easy to work with, and that's really a huge benefit. So the speakers, they're dual integrated speakers. Again, they're little teeny tiny speakers like you'd find on a smartphone. So you're not going to get great fidelity. Now, it also comes with cables. So what I'm using, I'm going to unplug this so it'll turn off. I am using their USB-C to USB-C cable, and it's kind of interesting because one side is a 90-degree connection, the other one is a straight up connection. they're pretty big, heavy-duty cables. So I think ViewSonic is used to dividing or developing cables that are going to last a super long time. Now, another option you have is USB-A to USB-C. So you could plug this into maybe an older PC and then use this on the device itself. And then the third option is mini HDMI to HDMI. So all three cables come with it. And if you use this with a source that isn't sending power to, which is probably the USB-A and definitely the HDMI, then you will need to also power it. So that's generally where I think the USB-A comes in. You plug it into this fairly chunky 60-watt power source. So you'd use this for power to power the display, and then you'd use like HDMI from your HDMI source to be able to actually push a signal onto it. Now, I gotta say, ViewSonic, these are big. This is like an old school charger. I'd like to see you use some gallium nitride or something, because there are chargers that offer just as much power at a third or half of the size. And why not give us more sleek and slim power sources? But to some extent, it doesn't really matter, because if I'm using it just with USB-C from my modern PC or my modern Macintosh, then this is the only cable I need, because this can develop or deliver power in addition to the video signal and the audio signal. That's pretty cool. Now, one more thing. It includes a built-in cover. And not only does it include a built-in cover, but on the back, it has a built-in stand. So now we have this device here, and this is a 17-inch color monitor, and it's this size, which is pretty amazing. So what is the size? Well, it is 9.7 inches by 15.6 inches, and it's 0.6 of an inch thick, and it weighs 2 pounds. It is very light. It is not incredibly light, but there's a lot of circuits and circuitry inside. So you pull the stand back, you flip your cover over, or if you want, you can take it off entirely and not even use it. We'll just put it over here for now. And then you're ready to go. So all I have to do to use this is to plug in my USB-C. Generally, I plug it into the monitor first. And then when I plug this other end into my computer, then we should have the display. Let's get that plugged in, and there we go. So notice this time I didn't have to turn on the power switch. That's what I was saying, is like sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. And this is boom, ready to go. Really nice. Now, I have a particularly challenging lighting situation because of the lights I'm using to illuminate myself, but it does have an anti-glare screen, and the surface, the screen hardness is rated at 3H, so it should be pretty scratch resistant, though honestly, certainly every time I was transporting it, I would take advantage of that cover, because why wouldn't you do that, right? So there's not much else I can tell you other than it has a 3-year warranty, and it's ViewSonic. I mean, ViewSonic makes some of the best displays and monitors in the industry, and I've tried a lot of these, and none of them have impressed me with the colors and brightness and speed of refresh and convenience of buttons for functionality and menu choices as much as this one has. They got it all going on. So the only thing we need to talk about then is the price. But before we get to the price, I'm gonna ask if you could subscribe to my channel. A click or a tap on that subscribe button and we'll be friends forever. Also, give me some comments, give me some feedback. What do you wish I would have shown that I didn't? Give me a thumbs up if this was useful and interesting. That's everything. This is the ViewSonic VX1755 17-inch portable gaming monitor, and it's $299.99 at Amazon.com. If you need more screen real estate and you want it to be portable, something you can take to work or bring home or take to a coffee shop or a co-working facility, I'm not sure there is a better choice out there than this one. This is a solid option, and I absolutely love all that extra screen real estate. It's rocking. So I'm going to get back to looking at my own videos. That sounds a little strange. I'm going to get back to watching something on Netflix. That sounds less strange. So I'll have to catch you in my next video.